Hello and welcome. That
Hello.
was from the Talking Tortoise. And now, hello. Welcome to Cleary Co's Catastrophe Prevention Cooperative, which will presumably be forming during today's episode. And cat break right away. Woo!
This is baby.
Hi,
Oh,
baby.
oh, it's a baby.
He's a
She's just a
baby.
It's a cute little baby.
And she knows it.
Kitty and Shot. Thank you for tuning in. We have just last week wrapped the very first mystery of this campaign, so we're going to be starting off with a little bit of a everybody gets together and talks about the mystery and goes, "Wow, we sure survived that." Ms. Cleary, who is the titular Ms. Cleary, is going to give some insight into why the group is together. It was not a one-off baked goods situation, as the rest are presuming at the start of our episode. And there's some tension brewing between Mount and Odie over the topic of the use of magic. And then we expect to be starting our second mystery with a bang toward the latter portion of today's adventures. So, strap in. We are starting off in Ms. Cleary's apartment in a meeting room that she has set up there. Ms. Cleary, would you describe our scene, please?
Yeah, so it's got like a nice long scuffed, because it's definitely not new. She's not that rich. Scuffed antique table. It's got, several mismatched chairs. They all look like office chairs that may or may not have been stolen from office buildings that left them there. So you got like a couple nice Herman Millers and like some really weird ones. And they're all just kind of like lining the table. Some of them look like they might have seen some better days, but they work. That's the important thing. On the table, there's like a charcuterie board because no meeting is complete without snacks.
Mm.
And a pitcher of lemonade and a pitcher of iced tea because she knows Odie.
All right.
Separate from the snacks is a pile of like papers. So the things from the mystery that they had and anything that they might have taken back with them that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, did you take anything back with you?
Mount has several baked goods in their bag.
Your bag is kind of wiggling a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Odie would have tried to take the grimoire that was used to summon the spirit.
Olivia does not want to give you that. Because for one, it's a family heirloom, and for two, it was a very bad idea, it turned out. So she really doesn't have any, like cuts both ways on a nope wanting to give that to you.
I think
Yeah.
I think trying to convince her, I would just go ahead and say, if you don't give that to us, there are going to be some very interested people coming around your door in about 2 to 3 business days, asking for it, without the asking for it part. Just the
Sure.
give it. Else.
But I don't think. Hello, lovely person. Back to you. I don't think that that is going to result in you having it. She
Also,
will appreciate
Cleary-
the forewarning.
Also, Cleary would be like, Odie, we do not need to take the grimoire. Warning them is enough.
Question
could
is,
be-
Is Odie saying that within earshot of Mount?
That's a
This would have been
point.
before we left.
Yeah, and I
Odie is
don't
not
want to
in-
spend too much time on this scene because I want to focus on this other one. But I don't think
Yeah.
you got the grimoire.
Right. I just want to know if, like, if we get the little pop up on the bottom of the screen that says Mount will remember that.
I think so, because you're all together
Great.
at the end of the
Okay.
in the denouement.
But in that case,
Awesome.
probably nothing from Odie then.
Probably nothing from Odie. Got it. Yeah. So it sounds like you have a bunch of baked goods. Very bored, wiggly baked goods in a duffel. No grimoire of terrible magics. Yes, a few curses that people may or may not be sharing about. And what is Ms. Cleary saying about the purpose of this meeting?
All right. So I think it's worth discussing a little bit about what went right, what went wrong, and perhaps a chat about whether any of you would be willing to do anything like this again.
Alrighty. What do you want to start with, Miss Cleary?
Oh, what went right? Because I like to start off with compliments before reaming you out.
Alright.
And she's like, well, I think while we could have done better, we kept the problem from exploding into anything worse than it already was. We basically popped the pimple, so to speak, which, oh, yeah. Because clearly the lemon drop, I don't remember her name.
Lemon drop.
Was planning something. And it looked like she was about to wage war, which, odd, but okay. We managed to keep anyone from getting hurt, except ourselves, which is pretty standard. And we learned a few things about Lodi, California, which probably should talk to somebody about. But we did good. We rescued the baker, we rescued the kids. We put our phones on Do Not Disturb for this meeting. And
Jake immediately put it on silent because it's Jake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
How
forgot.
many people take your phones out to put them on silent at that?
I think I looked for mine, but I don't have it. I didn't bring my cell phone.
Right. Did you learn anything important about friendship?
It is the most
and-
important part.
And I think we mostly get along pretty good. So, is there anything else you guys would like to call out as something that went well?
Wait,
Well,
question. Was that a test? Jake.
Yeah, that's what I
Jack
want to know.
catching on right away. I don't know how subtle Miss Cleary's expression is, but Lewis has a bit of a uh, uh, mm, expression. Lewis being the character that I'm primarily playing in this scene, who is Miss Cleary's follower, essentially.
Odie is gonna speak up and go, well, I doubt Miss Cleary would call it that. Probably something closer to a tribe of fire. Uh, Throw us into a chaotic situation that has no mass danger consequences to test the efficacy of this here team together.
It was supposed to be a much simpler situation than it turned out to be.
Yeah,
reckon-
that
Frequently the case with these.
yes,
But
it
yes.
wasn't supposed to explode into violence.
But
I
we're
would say
saving the-
that in answer to Miss Cleary's question, one of the highlights to not overlook is that we had people working across multiple monster-oriented societies. And
I'll drink
no
to that.
one got at each other's throats to an extent that meant that we didn't help the people very effectively. We could do that.
Mount just looks kind of sour a little bit at that, but doesn't say anything.
There's
We
also
could
a
do that.
sourness on it.
If we could do that more often, put aside individual feelings on the topics to help save people, would be a lot fewer people die each year.
I reckon that's right about right. I want to
Let me
jump out.
finish the gold. We did
I wanna-
save kids.
We did indeed save children. I want to jump out of the gate and I want to put a great heaping of thanks on Mount. Immediate willingness to put themselves in danger to protect them kids. Willing to accept that since they weren't in danger, the pastries didn't need to die immediately, scaring the kids even more. From what I hear, that you did a good job there.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Fairly said.
Also, gonna layer on some heaping helping of good on you, Miss Evander. Timely use of good strong magic got multiple people out of a dangerous situation multiple times this time.
Thanks, Odie. Yeah, that
All
last one
right.
was kind of cool. So.
All right. Good compliments all around. You ask a good question, Jack. I will answer it later. I'm not avoiding it, I promise.
You are, though.
Yes, but
Not for any much longer.
Okay.
as for what could have gone better, well, splitting up at the very beginning and leaving Jack alone was, especially given your circumstances, Jack, unwise. We need to stick together, or at least if we're splitting up, make sure that we're in pairs.
Or no,
Ask
we're doing
what
it.
happened there. How did Jack end up on his own?
We
I
heard the screaming,
And
and we went to
gingerbread
investigate it.
man.
I think it was
everybody ran
partly my
toward
fault.
the screams at the river, and no one made sure everyone was following.
Yeah,
That's about the long and short of it.
That sounds like
That's
something
part-
that would happen with a new team.
I apologize. I intended to go with Jack, but my attention was very much diverted by the screams at the river.
Saving children is generally always worthwhile.
We have an entire lack of ability to communicate at a distance.
Were your cell phones off?
Cell phones aren't easy to get when you're being chased off of a river by a large number of gingerbread people without the ability to use both hands.
Yes, and
Oh,
magical solutions that would replicate the functionality wouldn't be equally appealing to everyone.
We can get like headsets or something. I can reach out to some people I know.
Thank you.
I think that's a good idea.
Thank you kindly.
Headsets are probably a good middle ground.
And the other thing that could have gone better is we need to figure out the interpersonal dynamics a little more. I know all of you are from different societies, or no society at all. And when we are in the field, we would likely need to decide on a course of action when it comes to handling magic. Mount, I know that the Grimm Society is starkly opposed to any and all unapproved use of magic. Odie, I know the Mfinwer Battalion likes to see magic at all costs, regardless of the price other people may pay. I don't know what your personal view of that is, given that I know it's different for every student of Taliesin. I have seen its dark side, though. And it is wise to practice caution. That said, in the field, we cannot afford to be arguing between each other on what's, I don't want to say safe, because that's not quite it. But
Standard operating procedure.
yes, a way to handle it so that way if we do disagree on a course of action, we're not doing it in front of the people who we're supposed to be helping.
Well, I think that would rather hinge on having a collective approach to magic that we can all live with. And for that, might need to speak to the idea of this not being a one-time thing.
Are we finally getting there?
She like
It's-
Cleary wags her finger at you.
It's difficult to have a conversation about the future without a sense of what the future might have in it.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
I
a
guess I
finger
should tell you
wag
what-
of disapproval or a finger wag of, I see what you're doing?
A finger wag at Odie of, you wait, I'm getting there.
Ah, Odie, yeah, got it.
And she's like, and yes, Liz, we should talk about the future. So, the reason, Jack and everyone, that I called you all to help me investigate this was I thought it would be a nice test run of gathering folks of different approaches to see how well we could get the different societies to work together as a cross-functional team to help prevent disasters from becoming worse than they are or have the potential to be. Because there is a need. I've been noticing an uptick recently in strange events happening in the news and in various places I keep track of and reports from friends. And there have been more incursions of the supernatural variety of late that have the potential to go horribly awry. And I don't want that. But I also don't wish to see the hammer of the Grim Society brought down unless it needs to be. Because not every magical creature is dangerous. Similarly, you can keep clearing your throat. I'm going to finish my sentence, Odie.
I'm not saying anything.
Similarly,
Sure.
I don't think that the Mfwinwir's approach of letting it happen because it's interesting is necessarily sane.
I'm not going to comment on the incorrectness of your statement towards my own organization because I let the incorrectness of the comments towards a different organization go through. But just know, I would like to formally file a complaint about the way you worded that.
You can.
I don't think there's a complaint box. I don't think there's a
Unfortunately,
complaint box.
in this organization, I am both the head of HR and your boss if you choose to stay. So I will note the complaint and I will put it in the shredder.
I think you once again mentioned possibly working for you. You finally gonna get on with what that's about, my lady?
Yes. I'm explaining it right now. So, if you would like to continue working together, provided you didn't think this whole previous operation was a disaster, I would be interested in hiring you on as friends and hopefully colleagues and preventing a lot of potential disasters from exploding or getting worse.
Some sort of catastrophe prevention cooperative.
That's not bad. Lewis is sending you a look, Miss Cleary, of the, is that all you're wanting to say on the topic variety? Sort of asking permission to let the other shoe drop.
Yeah,
He
she's
doesn't
fine with letting.
like secrets so overly
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, she's like, let the other shoe drop.
To be clear, we're not talking about fairy here. Or not talking about mortal sorcery, magic, any of that. Not even talking about the deep fae. We're talking about something else. Now, I know something else doesn't fit with either what the Mfenwer Taliesin or the Grim Society teach, and it's usually you're both right. But the shorthand has gotten a little bit easier in the last century. Who's familiar with the works of H.P. Lovecraft?
Yeah, great. It's it.
No.
I've read it.
Now, see
my
here.
condolences.
There are gods and fairies, and there are sorcerers. We know what's out there.
It wants you to think that that's all that there is. And most decades, that's true. It last was particularly not so true just about a century ago. Grim Society has done a lot of good spreading stories of wicked things that are only inclined to eat people and otherwise abuse any bit of trust that they're given, that can't operate in this world but are perfectly sociable with one another if they stick to fairy. It's not their fault, but they helped this force get more of a foothold about a century ago. Because familiar with the phrase, things man is not meant to know?
Unfortunately, yes.
There are things that get power from being known about.
Hmm.
And some of those are getting a leg up lately. Sometimes retellings of Lovecraft's stories. I wouldn't be surprised if Cthulhu plushies had some small part to do with it.
Oh, that damn Cthulhu president meme.
Yeah, some people actually sort of mean that seriously. Cthulhu is just a story from what
Okay,
we
okay.
know,
I'm
but
sorry.
things like that.
This is insane. Even for us, this is insane. How the fuck do you know that this ain't just another deep fairy creature with its own realm of madness?
Well,
Maybe there's some knowledge that my people have kept while other people forgot about it.
What people are your people?
Oh. Are we having this conversation? Does Odie not know?
Because I
I don't
have a
think Odie
feeling I
knows.
know where
Oh,
you're
that's
from.
amazing. Yes.
Lore keeper.
I am a representative from the Confederacy, Haudenosaunee.
That would not have been my guess. Interesting.
You see it though with the clue. Certainly he's got European ancestry too, but yeah, he could be Native American.
Remind me out of character what that is, because I feel like Mount would have
So the
known that name.
Haudenosaunee is the correct term for people who are sometimes called the Iroquois.
Right.
Hence, the Iroquois Confederacy would be the
I
incorrect
see.
way of saying it.
They're also another organization. And
Grim Society higher ups, not necessarily Mount, would know, but Odie probably would know that the Confederacy is not just, but is in part another one of the societies that are aware of the supernatural and take a stance on what to do about it.
one of the two other organizations that Odie respects.
Well, let's let
The
that
other
come out
one-
in character. So
Well.
yeah, for Odie at least, and Mount, do you think that you know about the Confederacy at all?
I feel like Mount would know about the Confederacy as another nation of Native Americans, certainly.
Yeah.
No idea. Unless somebody decided that they had the need to know, I don't think Mount would have been
Yeah.
told.
Nah. Keep that information out of the hands of the new recruits. It gives them ideas.
Especially that one.
So
Especially
Odie,
that one.
I wonder, does Libby know about the Confederacy as another secret society? She's done a lot of research into a lot of esoteric topics.
I think so. Yeah, I think she's heard of it. She probably doesn't know like a ton of detail or anything, but it's a
Yeah.
familiar
And how
thing to
about
her.
Jack? Do you think that Jack has run into the Confederacy as a secret society?
Um, if he does, he doesn't know, like he met, but he didn't know the confederation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So for Odie and Libby, now you realize kind of abruptly that there are actually 3 different secret societies in this meeting.
Well, I'm honestly shocked that that's the one you're a part of. I honestly pegged you for a Shirazadine.
I need to use the restroom. I will be right back.
Um, I'm actually really happy that I respect your group. You're one of the only 2 I do respect, along with the Shirazadine.
Their
Actually, Jack is writing notes
respect
about it.
is important regardless of agreement, Odie. Respect is what one person is due another, and respectful disagreement is one of the pillars of peace, which is what I am here to promote more than anything else.
I can't respect tyrants or butchers.
Then perhaps you have some learning to do. Because when they are not given any place at the table, they can only remain tyrants and butchers. True peace requires everyone learning how to sit down together.
Wiser words.
There are a lot
I
of
should look.
different possible ways to approach this situation. It hasn't gotten very far along from what Miss Cleary and I have been able to figure out so far. It's certainly within the space that and the level of threat one could hand it over to the Grim Society. They would publicize about it unless we could convince them and trust every single one of them to actually stick with that.
So you're telling me that there's a threat that I can't report to my society because they'll make it worse. And you have no ability to trust that they won't make it worse.
That would be my perspective on it.
As loathed as I am to admit it, I also probably not tell my society lest some intrepid young Taliesin decides it would be a fun idea to play Demon Lord with the Eldritch.
Or several old and powerful Taliesin children. It's for those who don't have a concept that this is something different. There's no reason to think that you should do something different about it. The Ephemeral Taliesin would be excited about how they could transform the world, and they would. Certainly. Transform the world. It just wouldn't be a particularly healthy place to live in afterward. And it wouldn't be ours. Ever.
All right. Yes.
Both of you.
Yes,
Here.
I'll join.
Thank you. both of you are here because Miss Cleary and I believe that you have a lot of capabilities and understanding and potential besides the valuable information that your secret societies have given you. The stances that you bring will be absolutely critical in turns. Libby, the place of neutrality that you can hold and your truly impressive collection of lore. And
That's agreed.
you're quite a person to work with. Been impressed by the bits of your record that I've seen.
Thank you.
And Jack, I'm sorry, but you're here because they took you before. And we're hoping that that perspective will be able to help save lives.
Mount is playing with a pocket knife, by
Definitely.
the way. And
Well,
those of you who are
definitely I just
familiar with them will know that that is because they are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis is tracking that, but not interrupting over it. Yeah, what's Jack saying in response?
yeah, definitely it seems that I got some knowledge that I got from them that can be used against them.
Yes. That you encountered them and you don't serve them is honestly unusual. Especially for one so young, if you'll forgive me.
Level with me. How bad is this? If we don't contain it, if it gets out, is it really...
He'll look to Miss Cleary to answer.
Right now, it's not bad. It's manageable. It's containable. At least with the data I have on hand, the data I've been able to find. The struggle with cultists is they don't like to talk to people who aren't also members of the cult unless they're recruiting. But it has the potential to get a hell of a lot worse. It's even with what few connections I have to Fairy and what many connections I have around here, there's people can tell that something is coming. They might not know what it is, but the ones closest to it can feel that there is danger coming. And unfortunately, this type of danger, handled incorrectly, it's just this is the type of danger that will take advantage of the fact that most people have a playbook for how to handle it. And it needs to be handled differently.
They really like orienting to different playbooks and making sure that whatever our societies are inclined to do, they can take advantage of. That's why working cross society was the only thing that stopped it a century ago.
That's why you brought us together. You did.
Yeah. Because we can do something different. The fact that we get along, or sometimes even that we don't, it's going to be to our advantage here because we will be unpredictable.
Hence why we have a butcher here. On the off chance we need to kill something that needs to be killed.
This will work a lot better if we keep respectful tongues.
They're not butchered. They're
Yes,
protected.
Yes. Yeah, what's Mount saying?
Apparently, you all have perspectives on the Grim Society that, as an initiate, I do not. And I find it lonely to be the only one not in the know.
as a former member of the Grimm Society. They saved my life when I needed it most. There is a place for the Grimm Society's methods.
If you want to hear outside perspectives on the Grimm Society, that's something you can do.
Well, given that I've just been told that I cannot do the thing I would like to do most, which is go to them and divulge all that I have been told, because that will make it worse and that will cause more deaths. Yes, I would very much like to know why I am constantly being referred to as a butcher and a blunt tool.
I don't
Maybe-
believe
And that
that
if
to be
that
a
others
con-
feel like they need to warn of my compatriots' approach.
Is that a conversation you
don't-
want to try to have now?
It would instill a measure of trust. It's not that I don't believe you. It's that my experience within the Grimm Society has been does not reflect a butcher-like attitude.
This is fair. There is a time and a place for the society that goes and kills what it can, or, well, banishes what it can and kills what it can't.
It doesn't always do that. Odie. The Grimm Society adopts. Well, Lewis, you would
Indoctrinate.
certainly know more.
Every society has a blind spot. Every single one. And we can debate ad nauseum, and we have across the centuries, about exactly how to define each one of those blind spots. From my perspective, I would say Grimm Society's blind spot is the idea that there is only bad that comes from places that aren't part of our physical earth. Time was this ground, and most of the rest of the continent were in good relationship with creatures that the society would say are of fairy and should be sent away. Staying in good relationship with them it's a different challenge from staying in good relationship with humans, which already is not easy for humans to do. And it can go wrong, especially when you don't have a lot of ancestral connection to call on. My people are still mourning those broken ties, though. That's the
You
place
asked.
where the Grimm Society's philosophy rings hollow to me. And there is so much from other places that the Grimm Society would call fairy that we're better off being protected from.
You asked why we tiptoe around Grimm. Did you ever think that a creature born here, yes, of magic, should get due process just as any citizen of America, rather than just be thrown to a random place it's never known? You're not a butcher, Mount. And it's wrong of me to call all Grimm butchers, because I've known some great ones. Some ones who have confronted the flaw in their own organization and overcome it. And my organization is no better. We let rot fester and grow just because it's a good story. But if you can't see it, you can't confront it. And I'm just as guilty of that as a lot of mine are. Because it's so hard to see past my own biases that it gets ahead of me all the time.
Main issue, Odie, is that when it comes to supernatural creatures, our law, I don't disagree that they deserve due process where appropriate, but the framework to judge them and grant them that due process outside of San Francisco and certain other areas of the world does not exist.
I'm trying my hardest to be civil, but there's a reason for that. Every other society would have us work with them in some way. The Shirazadine, the Taliesin, Confederacy? No. Is that what that name is?
Yeah. That's the public facing name anyway.
Yeah. And would Odie know of the last organization?
Was like the Heavenly Principles or something like that.
Yeah.
Look them up.
Because they're, as far as I know, the most insular of them.
There are two societies out that way, but not to bog down right now.
Yeah. They all have rules in place for interacting, getting to know, staying here, giving them due process. I call the Grim Butchers because they're the only ones who would have us cut out everything of fairy if it were possible.
And maybe because you haven't quite decided to give up a name that promotes conflict instead of peace.
So, I'm sorry. I'm finding it difficult that I am expected to set aside how should I phrase this? That I am expected to confront and single-handedly represent change. And to answer in my conduct and in my participation in this project. For all of the sins of a society that I am just an initiate of. It's a lot.
No one is saying that you bear the weight of their sin. But you You
Odie,
are part of
Odie,
Yeah.
every time you refer to Mount's organization and Mount as a butcher, you are asking them to answer for the Grim Society's sins.
Yeah.
That is the weight of the word that you are using here. I need you to understand.
Mount is better than them. They are better than those. Do you even know what they've done?
They saved me and put me on a path where I could have purpose again.
Half the people in this room, sorry, the human people, looking over at the talking tortoise who is also at the table, who's just taking everything in. Half of the human people at this table would be dead today without the Grim Society. And so
Me
far,
included.
Odie, you're going to have the hardest journey. Yeah, good question. No, the talking tortoise's name is Hieronymus Bosch, and wears big, thick spectacles, and is just sitting at the seventh seat that isn't represented by a face here on the screen. And Odie, you are going to have the hardest journey from the start here. To set aside your prejudice. I think everyone can think of words about people's organization or ancestry that we're not going to be using at this table. Because the 20th century, and I'm sorry, mostly the part of it that you missed, was a long journey of unlearning words that our grandparents said were funny or a little bit usefully on point about one another. Words that people in your community wouldn't have said about me or about Mount for looking at us, but would have been said for 10 counties in every direction. Applies to the societies too. And it's not going to be a fast thing to unlearn that. I know that. But you're going to have to try. The world needs us to be enough at peace to be able to deal with what's coming next. That's my perspective anyway.
If I'm strong enough to forgive them, I know that in the end, what happened wasn't actually their fault, but it was their weapons, their tools.
Odie?
He was part of their organization.
Odie, would you tell us about what happened? That might maybe
Not
help
really.
have some empathy for where you're starting out in this project.
Well, I can't talk about it all, but a long time ago, there was a town. This town lived in harmony with the nature spirit. A wonderful, beautiful creature who beloved the town as if it were her family. The town embraced magic and the land itself. There were witches on the street who sold cures for toothaches. There were knights who could chop down trees with a single swipe of their axe. There were those who sought refuge from outside the town. And it burned in a single night because one man wasn't able to get over his bias. I've learned since that he wasn't sanctioned by the Grimm, but it was that environment where he was able to gain power. I'm sorry. It's not their fault, and I should know that, and I should be better. Sorry, I can't talk about this anymore.
Are you talking about Pleasant Grove? The same town I grew up in? I have some questions for certain people who aren't here.
Ask them carefully. Make sure you know what you want to get out of that conversation before you start it.
I think...
Does that make it a little bit easier to see each other as people?
Odie, I didn't lose a whole town, but I lost someone pretty wonderful. To an unrepentant monster. And I don't want anyone else to lose their loved ones to something like that. That is my entire reason for deciding to take on this duty. And I see a lot of those same reasons being said here around this table. I admire that.
I don't know if I can forgive them for giving rise to that man. But I'm willing to try. At least I'm willing to let the past be the past and give this new generation a chance. Give you a chance, Mount. Please don't let
Good.
me down like they did.
I'm glad you can see beyond just a flag that might be draped around my shoulders at the moment.
I think I need some air.
Yeah, how about we all get some air, water, charcuterie board,
Coffee.
lettuce, before Bosch can protest. And when we get back together, I might have a story to tell you from the Confederacy, if you'd like. Something along the same lines, but a little less personal.
Odie stands up and walks out, and they look old in that walk.
Old how? How do people read the old in that walk?
It looks stiff and painful and hunched and even a little bit thin, as if worn by age more than anybody who looks as young as Odie looks should look.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where we're going to take our break, as the characters also are taking a break.
Yes.
In
And then we'll
character and out
come
of
back
character.
together. We're going to be on break until 15 after the hour. Please stay tuned. Take care of yourselves, too. Get what your bodies need. We'll come back together for a second half of a story, which should be quite a good time. See you then. Hello and welcome back. Michelle will be joining us back here in a moment. Well, we had a dramatic first part.
It was so good.
It was so juicy. And where do we want to pick back in? I want to know briefly what each person does on that little stretch break.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I probably bother Cal for a pot of coffee. I'll make it. You don't have to make it. Can I make some coffee?
You can absolutely make some coffee. I will even show you where I keep the stash of the really good coffee that Cal undoubtedly collects from various places she goes on missions.
Awesome. Thanks, Cal. I need my fix.
Odie goes outside and pulls out a flask after stealing a cup from Miss Cleary and pours themselves
Ooh.
a glass of liquid. Drinks it down. And yes, it do glow.
It was a glue.
That is really cool, I gotta say.
Yeah. Love a special effect moment.
I've been waiting to use that prop forever.
Yay!
And I was like, oh, that's my chance. And I have two of them. One for me, one to share.
Mount tries to go out for a smoke, sees Odie drinking, and asks Miss Cleary if there's a different place they can go out for a smoke.
Sees Odie drinking a glowing liquid.
Just casually drinking back something that's probably magic. That doesn't raise any complicated feels right now. Does Miss Cleary have a balcony?
Yeah. Miss Cleary has a balcony,
There
and
you go.
Great.
it's San Francisco. Of course, there is a balcony to go people watching.
And it's not just tobacco; it is a tobacco mix specifically from that they learned to make from an elder in their community.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Cleary goes for like a quick jog around the block, but comes back with like sandwiches.
Aw.
Nice.
I think we would see Lewis just meditating, kind of focusing inward, really.
Does he stay like in his seat at the table? Or does he get up and go somewhere else?
No, he gets up. He'll go over maybe to the couch. What sort of lag? Somebody in chat is noticing some lag. Let's see if we can.
It's
check
probably
real
the
fast.
normal lag because she can hear me speak. She's in the other room.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just the normal lag. Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Thank you for mentioning something. It's always useful to have feedback if we might have tech issues going on. Like, so useful.
This is a consistent issue because when I try to watch the stream, I see myself do this, and then like 2.5 seconds later, I see myself do this
It's
on
such
stream.
a thing. I get to cheat because I can watch us on OBS, so I see us all formatted nice and pretty, but in real time. But I can cheat. I can do with one fewer thing to try to keep track of.
Ooh. Idea for later, but not for now.
Uh-huh. Did everybody say what they were up to? Except for Jack.
Everybody except for Jack. We have a coffee,
Except for Jack.
mysterious glowing liquid, a run that brings snacks, meditation, and tobacco, but not cigarette.
You know,
We're
Miss
all
Cleary,
going to our vices.
while you're out, you get kind of lost in your thoughts. I don't think you necessarily can recall exactly what you were thinking about, but it seemed like something important. That's what's called a
All right.
completely innocuous, not at all sinister thing.
Hmm.
I love getting to use sinister genuinely as a left-handed person.
Yeah.
I can know exactly what it means and then not care.
Is there a different
So as they come
definition?
back together around the table, Lewis is going to ask how everybody's doing.
A little better.
Odie doesn't look even a little tiny bit drunk from the glowing liquid, and is in fact calm. Collect. Thank you. I think the break was what we needed.
So what's the movement next? I have a story that I can tell. Don't like to tell a story if it's not needed and wanted, though.
I want to hear your story.
My folk are always down for stories.
Especially looking at Miss Cleary, but definitely at
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm happy to listen. I know I haven't heard all of your stories.
Oh, this is the big one. On a meta note, to make it real clear, I am actually going to be telling this story as it was told, an abbreviated version, as it was told on the website of the Onondaga Nation, because this is a real story.
I'm gonna mute myself so that I can actually listen.
Hey! We have the technology. Now, people tell that it was over 1,000 years ago, around Onondaga Lake, the story happens. There were 5 people, 5 tribes. Then, Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. And they were always at war. We did not stop fighting. People knew most sons would be lost to war. Most mothers' hearts would break. The pain and suffering was too immense to do anything else, though, because laying down arms rather than avenging the ones that you'd lost is unimaginable. They say the people of the 5 nations had forgotten our original ways, and that our actions saddened the Creator. So the Creator decided to send a messenger to the people so that the 5 nations could live in peace. He had a name, but we don't speak it casually. Call him the Peacemaker. While he was growing, his mother was told by the Creator that he would bring peace. Her people didn't believe her. Not at first. Grandmother maybe thought she was being a little pretentious. Tried to get rid of the baby, quietly. The baby always came right back to his mother's arms. Never with any sign of vengeance or anyone around, just back quietly. She got the message. It was a long process getting us all to a place of peace. Jaconsese, the woman, didn't have an alliance to any of the nations, but was a friend to all of them, kept a place of shelter and food. She was one of the first that he convinced. She helped to build the longhouse. There's so much I want to say. But one of the important pieces was that among the Onondaga, there was a leader, Tarudaho. They say he was so evil that his body was twisted and snakes grew from his head. And while other nations began to agree to the peacemaker's plan, he staunchly refused. He was in a position to perhaps win the rule of the nations by force of arms, and he was not going to give up power for anything. Another man of powerful lineage lived among the Onondaga. You know him as Hiawatha. He was tired of warfare and death and wanted the peace of it. The people might have followed him instead, and so Tarudaho killed Hiawatha's daughters to break his mind away from peace and set it back on war. It was a powerful wound to heal. When the peacemaker encountered Hiawatha, his words put Hiawatha back in mind to see the gifts of the Creator. Wipe away his tears and clear his grief. If I could hear those words, it would be my dearest wish. But there are such words that exist is a balm to me sometimes. So Hiawatha and Jaconsese and the peacemaker together traveled to the other nations and got them all in accord, but it was always dependent on the Onondaga. They spoke, well, we could simply be rid of Tarudaho. And the peacemaker said, no, it cannot be this way. peace will never exist unless all of the people of all 5 nations agree. But he knew a way. Tadodao tried to stop them when they came to meet with him, and he couldn't. They brought peace where he expected conflict. And they brought him what he had sought. His plan, the peacemaker's plan, was that Tadodaho would preside over the council, over all 50 chiefs, as its leader. And Tadodao accepted. The snakes were combed from his hair, and his mind was made clear. And that peace, it is held among us to this day. It has been strong enough to bring in one of the other peoples who had to flee. Now there are 6 tribes. The peacemaker is long gone, but that is the work that we try to carry on. There is nothing so serious as that between us here. But we'll face it. We will face people who have done horrible things beyond what any of us have witnessed. Beyond what any of us have witnessed. For myself, I will advocate for peace. Because I know that the foundation of the Confederacy, the foundation that was laid into the Constitution of the country that is here now, is that peace is always possible. Even if continuing to hurt each other is always easier. That is my stake in this. Miss Cleary has a plan, has a potentially apocalyptic scenario to avert, and I will help. But that's not why. Because we have been at one another's throats across the centuries, those of us who are even willing to admit the existence of the supernatural. And I want that to end. If we can do just one piece of that, then we are doing the work of the Creator.
That was a mighty wonderful. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Miss Cleary,
Yes, Odie.
oh. Is it still cutting out my audio?
Yeah,
was
it's
just
just
the
because you
end
got
of
real
the
quiet there for a
phrases.
moment.
I will slightly adjust my noise gate. Very quickly. Because I don't have dogs barking anymore. Miss Cleary. This is for the foreseeable future, going to be, for all intents and purposes, our mission. We're a group going on a quest to save the world.
Yeah, that's the thing. Saving the world kind of thing.
All right. I was in, then I was out, and now I'm back in again. But if we're going to do this, if I'm going to put my past aside, we can't just slaughter and banish. And I used a loaded word again, and I'm sorry about that. But we should talk about what we do and how we do things. Not now, but have a think on it. A code of conduct.
I'm not against having our own code of conduct.
I know.
And I know there will be times when we fall back on what we know. That's, what a lot of us have been trained to do, or how to approach things. And I know it's going to be difficult. We're all fairly headstrong. But the main thing we got to remember is that we all live here together. This is, we might be from different walks of life, but for better or worse, we're here. And we can do something. We could do something amazing. And yeah, sure, maybe nobody will ever know about it. But it's,
Well,
That was never why I was in this.
Mount, I've said it twice now and I'll say it again. Your kind can be heroes. People who save others from the darkness.
Odie, that's all I've been trying to do this entire time.
yeah, to a lot of people, that's what the Grim Society already is.
And also, Odie, if you were saying those exact same words, but you meant because of... Would you say that if you were saying it about your faith in that I can be a hero despite being Native American?
I'm talking. My old ways strike again.
It takes time. Maybe a useful way to check.
Can I just say,
I've said that I'm in.
Let's hear what Jack's saying.
just want to say, maybe we can agree we all from different societies, each one has opinions, but we are now how much we are counting everyone, including Bosch. 7?
At least.
All of us are a group now, and we're together.
Well.
And we'll be just putting aside our biases of the other societies. We'll be together, protect each other, and
I mean,
save the world.
I hadn't heard none of y'all say yes to this, except for maybe Mount.
I'm in.
Yeah. For that I'm in.
As the kids say nowadays, fuck it, we ball.
You picked that up pretty quickly. Libby.
Oh, I
Oh,
have
he's
this
learning.
kid who showed me this thing on her phone called Tac Tac. Pretty damn cool.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Very close, though. Libby, I'd love to have you here, too. Oh, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I've been asked to join lots of groups, and this is the first time that I've felt comfortable to join because there is a variety of beliefs and that we're not all like having this one tunnel vision moment, but now we have a variety of opinions, and I think that feels easier to me than joining any of these other specific groups with their rigid rules and ideals.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it is.
Anything more that needs saying here? I'm sure everybody's pretty tired. Hey, Miss Cleary, this would be the time to talk about what happened in the river if you're going to. So
Yeah,
curious if you want to. If you want to, though, let me know. You don't just start talking.
I think she kind of does want to, but she's going to look real hesitant about saying anything.
Some act under pressure.
Oh.
Oh, you may as well just note down -1 ongoing for yeah, it's usually going to be act under pressure, but just situations where you're talking about your deal with the river.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 10 because I rolled. Yeah, I have +2 to act under pressure because I'm cool.
You are cool.
And I rolled a 9, so that's a 10.
Give you a minus and look at you still pull off a 10 by the skin of your teeth. Yeah, no. Any hesitation that you're seeing is just Ms. Cleary alone. Plan on having about 2 or 3 sentences to get out what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
She's gonna be like, well, first, is anyone gonna comment on the hesitation?
No, Lewis is going to look interested to listen.
Okay. She's gonna say, and on the topic of these incursions, I don't think there was something in the river.
Like
Something
immediately said, there was something in the
related to-
river.
something related to
it
And it was not Faye.
was Eldred.
I think it was connected to the cult that kidnapped me.
The cultists were nowhere near there. I mean, a different entity.
My,
Should have got my hands on that damn book.
Do you think it
I
was
knew
the
it.
same one that spoke to the baker?
I don't know.
And that's 3 sentences. Ding! Your brain just wanders off. What were you talking about?
well,
Bleh?
Just a creature like that loose in a river in the Central Valley. That's really alarming. Did you get a sense of it or its intentions?
So when you say my brain wanders off here, do I like completely forget that I made a deal?
Wandered off like your attention is suddenly on reciting the grocery list about because you have to go shopping right after this, and he doesn't firmly recall what you were talking about before that.
Okay.
It might be a moment for Jack to speak to what he noticed.
Yeah, Jack, do you know anything? Because I found Jack in the river.
Yeah,
Or by the river. Something happened there.
I mean,
in a puddle
I don't
because
know
Jack was a gingerbread man at the time.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
but a puddle from the river, yeah. But he, I'm not sure if it's connected. Maybe not, but it talked to me, and it says like kind of welcome back, and he anticipating me to return.
Welcome back.
This
It recognized
is
you.
not good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yes.
step in here. Would Miss Cleary, Mr. Blackwood, would you mind if I take a look over you, see if there's anything lingering?
Huh? Oh. Oh. Oh, sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look over y'all and check for any lingering.
I won't mind. I hope not.
I would like to use my new move that I got from the last mystery.
Yeah, what's that move? Tell us about that move.
It's called Curse Whisperers. When you investigate a mystery, you may also ask 3 extra questions. If you discover a curse by any method matching one you have previously consumed, you take a forward.
Ah, sure. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And I would like to investigate a mystery.
Oh, right. You're
Specifically,
in that book.
yeah, I'd like to look
Great,
at
you'd like
these
to
2.
investigate a mystery. I
Yeah.
think you could investigate a mystery.
Yeah. If my computer would stop fritzing the hell out for a second. That is not what needs to happen here. That is a 13.
I
A
rolls today.
13? You sure
A
should
five
ask
is-
some questions.
Yeah,
Magic advanced.
and I get 2
If
questions.
only you had the advanced move, yep.
Is there a curse here? And if so, can I consume it?
So, Jack did not agree to anything, correct?
With
No,
the spirit.
Jack agreed to let Odie check.
No.
whatever.
Sorry, I meant didn't agree to any arrangement with the river.
No, I'm pretty sure I got him out before that
Yeah,
happened.
Yeah.
yeah. mhm.
Yeah.
He was about to, but then, Miss Evander got him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. I was just looking up the text of Curse Whispers. Beautiful move. Great pick. Nom nom nom.
Yeah.
Yup. Mm-hmm. Tasty curse.
Is that a confirmation that there is a curse here that I can
No,
consume?
I'm just enjoying the chat for a minute. That's all.
Oh. Should probably look at that every once in a while.
So, is there a curse here? There's something on Miss Cleary. Oh, there's an important part of the. There's an important part of the text here.
That I can consume, yeah.
No.
I mean, for Jack, it might be
No,
something
there
from
is
the
no
region.
curse here that you can consume.
Yeah. This does not let me see curses. Only that this doesn't let me see all magic. Only what I can perceive from my nature as a curse eater.
Yes, exactly. It's unclear what it is. She looks different than she did last time you looked at her overall, but it's yeah, it is a bit unclear in what way.
Twice in a row.
It's not my fault. It was Thistledown.
I know.
Okay.
Does it like is there like a magical presence about her that wasn't there before?
Yeah, something just feels a little different than it did. It's not a curse that you can consume.
Okay. What is being concealed here?
Hey, what is being concealed here?
Best question.
That seems like a useful question. Yeah. Something more happened between Ms. Cleary and the river than what she's saying. And maybe something more happened between Ms. Cleary and the river than she's remembering. Because you don't get a strong vibe from her that she's trying to hold anything back. There was that weird bit where her thoughts kind of wandered off. And Ms. Cleary, unlike most of everybody in Oaksong, does not struggle with attention deficit. So that was noteworthy. I love us,
I think,
but it's true.
I think Otis have a moment of their own neurodivergence and gets right up in Miss Cleary's grill, puts a hand on their forehead, and leans in to look at their face.
Oh.
Is that her response?
Yeah, she's just like, what the hell? He's like leaning back, like, what the hell are you doing?
Not a curse.
There's something called social distance.
There's something called social distance.
But what's social distance?
Oh,
Anyways, because yes,
Ah.
lived through 2020.
Lewis gets such a look on his face, and you missed 2020. Oh, a good deal if you can get it.
Yeah, maybe
I'll
it's just
explain later.
have to worry about that.
I'm
Let him live
up to
blissfully unaware.
my shots. The Taliesin doesn't reject science. In fact, we have quite the branch of almost action scientist-like people.
Okay, but what are you doing in the scene, though?
Yes. Miss Cleary, have you been experiencing any mental or cognitive episodes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Undue moments of distraction like what happened before?
Odie, are you telling
Yes.
me are you telling me there's mental fuckery afoot?
Well, I don't know. I could put together a ritual scanning schema drawing on Egyptian models of the soul and see if any alterations have been made to your Ren? Probably wouldn't affect the id or the ka or the ba. And I
Okay,
hope
but
it would affect the Shen.
okay, well,
That sounds like more of a long-term kind of project. We have all had a very long day. Maybe we shelve
Yes,
that for later.
yeah,
takes a step back from Miss Cleary.
she's just gonna
Mrs.
like scoot
Wendy.
further away from Odie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, in fact, Miss Cleary, you feel a little bit of an instinct of, not feeling so sure about this Odie person as I was a minute ago.
Yeah, she's just like, look, it's fine. I haven't noticed anything different, but oh well. That's not the point. The point is, y'all are in to work together. And we've got this. We could stop whatever's happening, and we can do it as a team if you're willing.
Does Miss Cleary know Morse code?
Unlikely.
Tap, 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 tap.
I don't know if anybody
Almost.
here would know Morse code. It was just slightly more prominent in the 50s than the 2020s.
No. I
Libby
think
might.
Matt recognizes that one.
I think Libby would know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yes, that one's very obvious.
Yeah.
And also, the one that is very old would probably know.
Oh,
it.
does the turtle know Morse code?
Oh my
Is that what
God.
we're learning right now? The turtle knows Morse code. Okay. All right. The
I
turtle
love
knows
that.
Morse code.
The turtle knows Morse code. That's great.
So yeah, everybody who knows Morse code, which would probably be Libby and Hieronymus.
I heard Mount there too.
Oh, and a mount. What appears at first to be distracted tapping, after sitting back down, tap tap tap. Miss Cleary, cognitive magic of some sort, possible mind control or alteration.
Are
You lost
actually,
Mount after SOS.
Are you actually sitting there doing the Morse code for of some sort? Because that is dedication. Usually the Morse code has a bit more pith.
I mean, it's probably not all of the letters of some sort. O-S-S. Wait, no, that's actually something.
They're going to think that you misspelled SOS.
Well, it's yes, of some sort.
OSS, it's something very, very different. Not good.
But yeah, I get across, like, there's some mental fuckery going on in Cleary's head, and it's probably come up before in some of our earlier missions that, like, oh, we could communicate with Morse code. Miss Cleary, I don't know Morse code. Interesting. This, like, Odie will remember this information. But yes.
Yeah.
No, chat. Delete it.
They
Erase it.
noticed.
Can't.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next. No, I'm kidding.
No.
We still have 30 minutes here. Hey.
We sure do. So I want to bring
Yeah.
this scene to a close. There is a suggestion that there might be something going on with Miss Cleary. It's not getting resolved because Lewis also doesn't know Morse code and is shuffling people toward okay, we've had a really long day. Everyone take it easy. Go pet a cat. Probably one of Libby's.
But before y'all kick us out, Mount, do you actually have a place you're staying? If I'm remembering correctly, you're from out of town.
Yeah, I don't have a place. I was planning on heading back to HQ.
Do you not have a place that isn't Grim Society?
Not right now.
Would you like to stay with me? It's not much and it's not fancy, but I got a place here in town.
I appreciate the offer, truly. I would actually, Miss Evander, if you have a spare room, I think I'd be more comfortable there.
Yeah, I've got a spare room for you.
Thank
I'd
you.
be happy to host you.
Odie
I appreciate that.
and appears to be doing something that's totally not hiding a look of ow.
Lewis is going to find a moment as people are starting to head out of Peace Takes Time. Just a little bit of reassurance. I love that objectively, probably Jack had the most spare space in his apartment, but the two much smaller and more filled up places are the ones that got offered.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so we know
if Libby didn't offer, Jack would have actually offered, hey, we have a guest house. We have a guest house.
I don't.
That almost and yet did not happen.
No, Mount's 100% more comfortable with Miss Evander as a responsible adult. Just putting that out there.
He thinks
I probably
Libby's
have that.
responsible. Cool.
And in
We'll
fact,
find out.
You'll learn.
Find out in game.
Yeah.
Cal's
As,
just like, I would offer, but somebody's already using my guest room.
As we all leave, the camera would see Odie unlock a door that leads into a very, very small apartment. It is not a big space, but they toss the keys down, and there are no real personal accoutrements. This is a lonely space, and they just lost the chance of having their family stay with them.
Ooh, that'll get them thinking. Let's do that. Let's do that for each person. What does it look like as Libby and Mount are heading into Libby's house? Give us a little window into that.
Mount is taking the advice to pet some cats immediately.
Yep, you hear them meowing as I'm unlocking the door, and then pop in, and they're all three just sitting there waiting.
I let him sniff me.
You can pick them up. They're all friendly.
I like to treat animals with respect, but I appreciate knowing that.
Yeah, whenever you feel comfortable. I think as we walk in, I will all go check and make sure they have water in their bowls and stuff, and just do normal chore-related things for the animals specifically. Maybe if you're petting a specific one, I'll tell you, oh, that's Angelica.
Hello, Angelica. Pleasure to meet you.
And Eliza's over there. She's the black one. A chorus of kitties. And Peggy is usually hiding somewhere. Probably under the couch. She's not mean, she's just a little shy.
It could be just coincidence. But each of the cats sure did respond to Libby saying their name.
So it was Angelica, who, and Peggy?
Eliza.
Eliza.
Oh God.
Angelica,
I know it's gonna be hard not to sing it
Eliza,
every time.
and Peggy.
I get it now.
No.
I get it.
Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy.
That's what I said. I said that.
And then I think Mount is pretty keen to just find a spot to put down most of their stuff, but they keep their bag and head back out the door to go take a walk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'll let you. I could tell you maybe just need some processing time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll let you go, and maybe if you come back and want to chat, we can chat. But
Yeah.
it was a long day. We can all have a moment of decompressing.
Mount lets that be the understanding between them. They're actually heading off to deal with the guests in their bag. The remaining
What?
baked goods.
After all of this,
I forgot.
what does that look like?
I'm assuming that there's a branch office in San Francisco somewhere.
There is. It's a bookstore that is not far off from Golden Gate Park.
Great. Then
Thank
they are
you
heading
for the
there
follow.
and just going to give a perfunctory after-action report and not mention any of the other things that we talked about.
Aww.
Oh.
But they do wind up handing over several of the baked goods to the Grimm Society, and they are watching quite carefully to see how they are treated.
Yeah, the baked goods are going to be taken in, photographed, separated. They're going to each be questioned separately. They're certainly not
Hydrate.
easy. Hydrate. Yeah.
There's no water in here.
Oh no! Oh, you get the
It all got turned into
hydrate
magic
break
juice.
of going to go get water.
I also need to get water.
All right, you two, go on, get water. It's always a good idea. See, wow, that was a very useful hydrate redeem. Thank you. Did not realize that some of us were freaking out. So the baked goods do not seem to be being treated. Yeah, I wouldn't characterize that as being treated respectfully, personally. That's a lot more interesting hostile witness and or resource.
Yeah, so Mount has thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
are you trying
voice
to
many
be
of them.
part of the questioning via which you would get more information? Or just getting what you can from those
I think they're
first
sticking
few
around.
seconds? Sticking around.
No, I
Okay.
think they're sticking around just to see how this goes and provide context.
Yeah. So I would love it if people added more bits into the chat that this very, very hostile group might be saying to these baked goods. But one thing that Mount will hear is, do you remember from before you were enchanted. And anything that you would like to express on the topic of being disenchanted before we proceed. Which will certainly get terror from the croissants that are on the receiving end of that question. The
Yeah.
no, we don't want to. We don't. But we'll be good.
Yeah, Mount just makes a
Heh heh.
We can rise to the occasion.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Yes.
y'all. Yeah, chat be the voice of the pastries. We understand
Yes,
now
we
that
can.
we went off half-baked. We can rise to the occasion.
Yes. Excellent.
There's this one really sardonic bagel that's just going to reply to most of the questions with yep and no. And
It was simply put this way.
It's
Oh
the
my
yeast we can
God.
do.
Chat.
it's the yeast we can do to make up for
We're
our
not
past
loafers.
mistakes. Yes. Yes.
Sin.
Oh, got a first time chat off of that. Thank you. Oh, which ones were the cops?
The police
the
bagels.
bagels.
Yeah, okay, that is the police bagel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, bub, like you're not understanding the situation here. You want to get answers out of these dough folk, you got to come through us. We know what things to ask. We know all about our norms and procedures, right? Right? You hear it? You hear? We can work together, you see. Right,
Of course
the
the cop
donuts.
bagel
Yes,
is the
it was the police
collaborator.
donuts because we did that.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yep.
Because of course it was.
That interview, like, Mount would observe a little bit of doubt in the interviewer's eyes of like, can we recruit a donut? Maybe we could recruit a donut. But Mount will be observing that it seems to be very much, can we use these?
Yeah.
Not entirely, are they dangerous?
Right.
I mean, the usual
Right.
stereotype is a stereotype, and thus applies equally inaccurately to most police organizations.
Yep.
Yeah, I think at some point, if there's like a break, Mount will address their colleague and be like, they're not especially dangerous, even if they have appropriately sized cutlery.
We'll wait till you receive your full report and take any permanent action. But don't get your empathy too stirred up. Most anything will say what it needs to say to try to preserve its own existence. It's just instinct. And
I realize that.
this is a situation that very nearly got spectacularly out of hand. So, good work today. Who did you say you were out in the field with?
Some old acquaintances of mine. Miss Cleary.
Ah, Miss Cleary. I see.
There's weight there. What's the name of this person that they're talking
Oh,
to?
yeah, what's their name?
Can it be Mosby?
I think let's make an original character, not one from a previous game in this setting.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We don't have whimsical catbird here, who's usually our reflexive naming committee. But yeah, they can have a name if somebody in the chat puts one in. However, let's switch scenes. Do they have a title?
I was hoping.
I don't think so.
Sashi Sato.
Sashi Sato.
Well, put it in the chat. It's not in the chat yet, so it's not official.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Then I'll write it down.
Yeah,
and
see,
stuff.
they replaced
I might
Gale.
take the cat first.
Great.
Yeah, they replaced Gale as the point of contact there.
They sure did. All right. Switching over, I want to see Jack for a minute. How's Jack coming home?
I think because it's been a few days. I mean,
No, this is immediately coming home from the meeting. Then we're going to stay focused in on Jack for our last little moment here.
Few days after the mystery, like, right? It was a
I
few
think
days
it's just
after.
been one day. The mystery. Were we working on this mystery for more than one day?
No, it was all the same day.
All in one day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So you're coming home from
Jack
for the evening. You're exhausted. You've just finished the meeting back with the others. Decided to do more of this work together for some reason.
Yeah, because Jack, because we are unwinding and relaxing, Jack's kind of idea of relaxing, which it is kind of it is relaxing for him, is read about some history and stuff, and I think he will go probably eat dinner with his parents, and then go to his room, and which probably will be investigate the mystery, because is kind of researching on his computer like history about this river, like history. It has a name. Maybe history about the place where the river. What's the history geographically?
Do you have connect the dots?
Not yet. Which are
put it on your wish list. I think if that's the sort of thing you want to be doing.
But because I'm trying to research maybe strange or ancient secrets, like about this place, I can get the +1 to any move that I'm.
All right.
Yeah. So it's investigate a mystery, right? So that's gonna be a good roll. I hope so. Seven plus 3, 10. Yes.
Woo-hoo! Okay, it's Lodi Lake. See, now I want to know the name of the river.
Yep.
The chances...
Is there actually a river in Lodi?
Oh yeah. No, we were on a real block at a real place for that mystery. Just the bakery was added. But I want to know the name of the river. It is
Is
the
it not the
river,
Sacramento?
the river on the north side. No. No, it's not. Let me verify. That's the, yep, that's the Mokelumne.
Mokolomnir.
The Mokelumne River. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you
About the name?
because the answer to the investigative mystery is going to include the real history of the real river. And the Mokelumne is one of the prominent rivers that comes down from the Sierra Nevadas, and I do not have its history memorized. So
In
So
real life,
next
we'll
week,
put a pin in that, and I'm going to give you those answers next time. Now, actually, I said we were going to stay focused on Jack, but I wonder.
I mean, Jack is investigating. Jack is investigating to go to sleep, so you can
Yeah.
go back.
So
go.
we're moving forward a couple days for this last little scene. And somebody is going to go to a contact that they have among the party to bring up a problem. And I wonder if anybody has an impulse who they think would have a contact that would be aware of what's going on among some unhoused folk in San Francisco.
yeah, there's a
Unhoused?
large population of neurodivergent and disabled unhoused folk, of which Odie is both. And Odie is also the type of person who would absolutely spend a lot of time going to soup kitchens and volunteering, and absolutely not casting subtle luck spells on people to help them get ahead in life.
Oh, Mount loves that. Okay. So maybe it's when you're at one of those volunteer shifts and somebody is coming up to you that you've seen before. One of the unhoused folks who has some irregular work, but not enough to pay the rent. Certainly not in San Francisco. Um, strong fella, works some odd construction and maintenance jobs. And so, but doesn't seem like he's headed to work or coming from work exactly. Not the freshly laundered clothes that just stay arranged for when you need to look housed to the people that decide if they're going to pay you or not. Yeah. Can we talk? Just, you know.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name? Anybody have a name?
Instinctively, my brain said Jody.
Jody.
Yeah. But if somebody else has a name.
I
like
mean,
that.
chat takes preference. That takes precedence. So if somebody has one in the chat, drop it in. But, just, you know about weird stuff. Javier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Javier, love that.
I do. Javier, what's this about?
Just,
Are you okay?
yeah, yes. No. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but I had a dream last night. It was a dream, but I was like some kind of a furious animal thing, and um kind of like a wolf thing, and I was chasing people down around the streets and uh um hurting them. um and one of the people that I hurt in the dream, um uh, uh
Am I missing?
no, not missing, just kind of in more than one piece.
I'd like to reach into my bag of magical reagents and pull out a piece of silver.
What? I see where you're going with that, and I'm just gonna look. I got my food. I just want you
Javier.
to know, maybe there's a thing. Um,
Oh, okay,
just
okay. I'll put the
dream,
silver away.
just dream
Can I?
thing, and
Can I? Put my hand?
no,
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
hold
have
out a
any.
little card.
Didn't have any. Did you?
If you have more information, give me a call.
What does it say on your card? Did you rush order the ones that say Catastrophe Prevention Cooperative?
Absolutely not. It's the most classic. It says Odysseus last name wizard.
Huh.
Oh my god.
It doesn't actually say that. No, it's so much creepier. It's on
Dresden.
one side. On one side, it's printed "They who walk cursed." When you flip it over, it says uh, "For all your curse removal needs, give me a call." And then when you flip it over a third time, it says, "Don't worry, I can help. Just give me a call."
Magical business cards, you little shit.
That's
Yep.
amazing. And I think that's where we're going to break for today, with him taking the business card, reading it, flipping it over, reading it, flipping it. Shit. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll call. And that's the last you see of him.
I should.
Last to see them?
That's the
They
last you
see
see
them?
of him.
Yeah, I think the
Dun,
last
dun,
line
dun.
is. Are there any packs moving through San Fran that I can give a call to? Oh, Miss Cleary's not gonna like this.
All right, and that will conclude our episode for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, I had a fun little bundle of folks watching. I am so glad that you enjoyed. As if you're still here, you probably did. And please tune in next week. We are hoping to have one more of the character spotlights next week in the meantime. Do
Yes.
please follow if you haven't yet, because we have some other streams starting up very soon on Oak Song, and I want you to know when and what they are and be able to get the updates and find more stuff that you like watching. All right, and let's go rating. How about next?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Stick around if you want to stick around. Thanks for coming. All right, say bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Rated us.
Raider Stream.